Hello, welcome to the another hands-on session on lexical processing, and we have also already studied hands-on session on tokenization and different types of tokenizers in the previous session, and we have also looked each of the tokenizers in action. And now we will move on to another hands-on session on the third type of or the third step of processing in a lexical processing steps. So that is stemming and lemmatization. As I already explained you what stemming and lemmatization. So basically, lemmatization is a process of text analytical step where it will try to just reduce the word to its root form by chopping off the suffixes. Whereas lemmatization is a more sophisticated form of text handling technique where it will actually look into the word corpus or word dictionary before reducing the word to its root form. So now we will dive on to the hands-on session for the same thing. Yeah, so I will be using the same NLTK library where it's a whole bundle of operations or bundle of functions methods available in this library. So I will use the same NLTK library. So I will import that NLTK library first. Then from NLTK library, I am going to import the uh, stemmer. So there are different kinds of stemmer available in the field of NLTK. So the most popular and most efficient type of stemmer is a Porter stemmer. So we have another type of stemmer called snowball stemmer as well, but it is comparatively less what do we call less efficient when compared to the Porter stemmer. So I will give you a brief on the Porter stemmer itself. We can actually look yourself on the uh, snowball stemmer as well. So for lemmatization, I have used nltk.stem again, import wordnet lemmatizer. So there is only one type of lemmatizer available in this nltk.stem library, that is wordnet lemmatizer. Yeah, so now I have imported all these things now. Since I have also mentioned in the previous hands-on session, so it is very much important to notice the type of import which you are doing. So clearly you could see this, the Porter stemmer is present as a class inside this nltk.stem. So whenever there is a class available in the library or a module, then it is very mandatory to initiate the class as an object, right? So I am going to do that here as well. So I am taking a variable stemmer and I am assigning that to the Porter stemmer class. So basically I'm trying to create an object of this class. So stemmer equals to Porter stemmer. Similarly, for even for the wordnet lemmatizer, since it is also available in the form of class, so I am going to import it and I am going to assign a variable called wordnet lemmatizer and I am going to initiate that class to this object. So now we are available with these objects. Now now it's time to look those things into the action. Yeah, so as I mentioned, this stemmer will try to basically chop off the suffix if available. So it will look into the word and it will try to remove the suffix available and try to reduce it to the root form. What if there is no suffix, or what if it doesn't find any kind of suffix available like ing, ed, etc.? Then what it will do, it will try to retain the same word as it is. It will not even try to reduce it to the root form. That's the behavior of this Porter stemmer over here is. So there are as I mentioned, there is another stemmer, right? So the snowball stemmer, so that would have reduced this word by also chopping off this ht at the end, so it could have reduced to pug directly, but that would be of a no sense or a no meaning, right? So as I mentioned it already. So even we can see the same behavior here as well in the Porter stemmer for certain kind of words, but it is more intelligent in the way that suppose if it is a non-suffix word, then it will try to retain the same word as it is. So now let's run this stemmer and we will have a look at it. Yeah, so here you could clearly see that what word is actually reduced to the root word, but it is kept as it is. So we are not actually relying on this stemmer when we have a advanced NLP task, right? So if it is a task of building a sentiment analysis or a chatbot building, then we generally don't prefer going for this stemmer, because it will not try to reduce the word to the root form, and it will also lead to the retaining of the duplicates, right? So the same word bot can be available as by as well, right? So suppose if it does not suppose if we don't reduce the bot to the root form by, then it will take these two words as a separate words, and it will try to analyze, or it will try to feed those words to the machine learning model or any NLP task model, and try to make the task more cumbersome, right? So generally I prefer, if the NLP task is more advanced, we can directly jump to the lematizer, even though it takes more time, but it have a upper hand in getting the perfect root of the word. So we will try to get the lemmatization for this word, and let's see what will be the output for this. Yeah, here you could clearly see that uh, the root form of the word bot is by, right? So it could able to successfully reduce that to the root form. So whenever any other forms of this word by, if you pass any other forms of the word by, then it will directly reduce to the singular word, that is by, that is root word, that is to the root word. So we will also have a another example over here. So I will take another word called arose, that is like past tense of word arise. So and we have a look on it once again. Yeah, here you could see that it has tried to remove this word or a letter e, considering it as a suffix, and it tried to reduce that word to the root form, that is arose. So but we generally don't have any meaning for this, right? We don't have any contextual meaning or vocabulary meaning in the English dictionary for aros, right? So but the problem, there is no problem for this stemmer, because even if you pass the word arise as well, it will try to reduce to the same root form. So what if we pass the same arose word to the lematizer over here, and look at it, how it is very different, or how it is more accurate. See, here you could clearly see that it could able to identify that, okay, it is a past tense of the word arise, and I can able to reduce it to the original root form, that is arise. So we can have any kind of example, or we can try out with many examples as well. So I will try with another last example. So I will take a plural form of word foot, that is feet, and we will try to look at it whether it could able to reduce this word feet to the singular word. Clearly it couldn't able to, and also it couldn't able to like detect any suffix over here, and that's why it has written the same word feet. But suppose if we pass the same word feet over here, we can easily expect the behavior, and we can easily expect that it will definitely reduce to the word food. Since I have passed the it have another parameter over here, right? You can have a look at it. So it is pos, which indicates part of speech. So additional to the word, we have to pass another parameter over here, right? So to make the lematizer understand what is the current word you are passing, whether it is a verb, noun, or adjective. So we have to pass that. So we are considering the food, it is a noun, right? So if I pass the part of speech as noun, now we could see that it has correctly identify that it is a plural form of word food, and it could able to reduce that word to the root form, that is food. So you can clearly see the advantages of a lematizer over stemmer in terms of identification of a root form of a word. So it will not just directly remove or chop off the suffix just like stemmer, but it would actually look into the dictionary, and it could able to identify the root word. But on a whole, if it is for a single word, you couldn't able to differentiate the time taken to get the root word, right? So we could hardly place it out that it is taking more time for lemmatization. But the actual difference would occur when you pass a large stream of words or a large number of words to lematize. Then you could easily identify that stemmer would take very much less time when compared to the lematizer. So we can have this a look on yourself. So anyway, I will be sharing this entire Python notebook to the link, so you can actually have a hands-on and practice with different words, and have a trial on the different words for stemmer and lematizer.